So let us see how to implement our CDC. So any idea when you go with CDC?
Yeah. Like if you, it's a kind of replication, but it's a little different from replication. Like you need to capture what inserts have been done on
Hmm.
primary side and what inserts have to be moved to the target side.
Yeah. See,
So
it's like an incremental loading. For example, I have 1 lakh records in my source. I copied them into the destination. That is the process I
yeah.
have to do. In my source, I have a source database and destination database. In the source database, I have a table with 10 lakh records. And process is you have to extract the data and load the data into a destination server. It's done.
Uh,
Now, if I do any changes to my source, that is a daily task. And every day at the end of the day, I have to do that. So next day what happens is some changes are made to the source table, and those changes has to, the table data has to be loaded into destination. Out of 10 lakh records, 2 records are modified, 2 more records are added. Means 4 changes I did. But what
yeah.
we are doing up to now, truncating the old data and loading with new data,
Mm-hmm.
which will take lot of time, right? Truncating 10 lakh records, loading again 10 lakh records, which is
Yeah.
time consuming process. So instead of that, don't disturb the previous data. Whatever changes happened, only those changes has to be saved into the destination. Means I have to capture the changes and load them into the destination. That's what it's called change data capture. CDC means
Okay.
capturing the changes made in the source, loading them only those things into destination. So only 4 records are affecting in the destination, which is going to be done faster. And this has to be done automatically. I no need to check there what I inserted, what I updated. I should not write any command manually. This CDC will take care about that. So it will be done in two sections. In the first section, full load you have to do. In the second section, incremental loading you are going to do. Let's see how to do that. So first of
Okay.
all, I'm opening my SQL. Let me create one database. I'm creating a database. Source CDC and one more database, destination CDC. After that, I'm connecting to my source CDC and creating some table. Creating a table called company CDC source, where I have some columns like ID integer and identity I have to give with not null option and a primary key on it. You should have primary key to implement CDC. Company ID integer, quarter integer, amount integer. Some columns I have like amount of money, let me say. Next, let me execute after this. So it creates two databases and connects to the source CDC and execute a table. So you will get source CDC, in that a table called company CDC source. Currently it is empty. I would like to add some records into it.
So for this, we have to enable the database for CDC, and then we have to mark the table for CDC, right?
Yes, yes. So I'm adding some records into it. Now currently this is the data I have. So to implement the CDC, as you said, first I have to enable the CDC in my database level as well as in the table level. So for that we have a stored procedure, sys.sp underscore CDC
Enable.
underscore enable DB. So we are in the source CDC. This database is going to be enabled for CDC, and I'll
Mark the table.
enable my table sp underscore CDC enable table. What I do there, my source schema is DBO. My source name is company CDC source. Role name, admin role I want to have. Supports net changes 1. So executing this. Done. One more important thing is you have to start your SQL Server agent, because it internally creates some jobs to capture the changes and saving them. And going back to our SSIS, adding a new package, calling it as CDC full load. Here we have some task called CDC control task. Using that, you can able to implement our things. First I have to connect to my source server. A new connection I'm using. I should use ADO.NET connection manager, not OLEDB connection manager for CDC.
Yeah.
I'm selecting my server name as local, and my database name is source CDC, and we have to use something called mark initial load start
Yeah.
if you want to load everything. And it internally CDC will maintain a variable for capturing the data, so we need to create a new variable. By default this name will be there, let it be.
And it creates a table also, right?
Yeah, and that is the next step. What is your destination server? My destination server is this one. Local destination CDC. And here a new table I am creating, CDC states. Run that command. Okay. And one more CDC control task you want to have, I'll copy and paste it. I'll call this as CDC load start. This as CDC full load end. What I have to do, mark it as end. That is the only change. And like, what is the table you created in the source, same table I want to have in the destination also.
Yes.
So I can create same table in my destination. But I don't require any identity for it. Now if you observe your destination table, destination database, currently we have two tables created and our CDC states is empty.
Mhm.
Also this is also empty. Now run the package once. Observe that one where we are in the destination, right? Just a second. Okay. In the middle, I should use my data flow task, right? So it is taking the source data and I have to load them into the destination. And who has to take care of that?
Again,
I should make use of one data flow task for that. What this data flow task will do, it will take one ADO.NET source and one ADO.NET destination. My source is source CDC and what is the table name? Company CDC source. What columns? These 4 columns. And my destination is destination CDC. What is the destination? Same table. Mapping the columns. Okay. Now run this. Done successfully. Now check out. One state is created as well as updating all the source data into destination. Got it?
yeah,
Now if I do any changes in the source, that has to be captured into the destination. For
that's
that,
incremental.
yeah, for that I have to implement that incremental modifications. So let us do that. I'm going to add another package here by copying and pasting this. CDC incremental load. So in the newly created package, what I'll do is I'll do some changes to this. I will make it as get processing range, and for the second one, mark processed range. And come to this, I have to take one transformation called CDC source. My data is coming from a CDC source. I'll tell you what is my source. My source is this one. And what is your CDC enabled table? This is the one. And net changes I have to have, so net is the thing I have to do. What is the variable that containing the changes? CDC state. All the columns. Okay. Now we have one more transformation called CDC splitter, which is going to take care about additions and modifications. I'll configure this. First, I need to have one connection manager, OLEDB connection manager. Let me configure this. Connecting to my local server, destination database. Open this, and what you want to do, I have to specify. See, everything is coming automatically for us. We no need to configure anything. Simply click OK. Now I have to save the insertions in one place and updations in one place. For that, one ADO.data destination I should have, and one OLEDB command I should have, because I have to implement some update command. When you are coming to CDC splitter to this, it is asking you what kind of output you want to have. Insert output I want to have. And what kind of output you want to have. Update output I want to have. And now I am configuring this. It's a destination database. And this is the details I want to have. Mapping the things automatically. Okay. And coming to OLEDB command, my connection manager is this one. And the connection properties I am going to define. There is some SQL statement I need to execute here. What SQL statement I have to execute? Update command. So let me go to my source. On this, I have to execute an update command. So update CDC set company ID equal to some value, comma, quarter equal to some value, comma, amount equal to some value, where ID equal to some value. This is our update command. I'll copy it and using that here. Okay. If it is correct, then column mapping parameters will come. My first parameter is company ID, second parameter is quarter, third parameter is amount, and fourth parameter is ID, mappings ID. Okay. Now everything is done. Let me try to run my package once. Run successfully. So this is my source CDC, where I have, this is the table, and this is my destination CDC, where I have this table. Now let me try to do some changes to my source. I added a new record. And doing one change. For the first record, the amount I am making it as 60. So 2 insertions, 1 updation I did. Totally 3 changes I did. Close it. Currently in the source, this is the data we have. 7 records. Still in the destination I'll have old data only because I have to run my package. What I'll do is I just want to test it. So I'll enable my data where. Enable the data where. Enable the data where. Enable the data where. Now run this and observe. See here. Output 3 records you are getting. 3 rows are coming. Changes. Out of them, 1 is update record, 2 is insert records. Working fine. Now check out. This is your destination previously. Now you can see 6th and 7th records and modification here is saved. Like that, only changes are going to be captured and loaded into the database. That is the advantage of using CDC without loading entire huge table.
Mm-hmm.
Clear?